It is a proverb that negligence kills, even if you are an expert in something but are not careful enough and ignore the basic precautions. It can lead you to death. The same happened with a tech diver, Carlos Fonseca. Carlos Fonseca was a young man, a resident of Caledon, Ontario. He was a fully cave-trained and Trimix-certified diver who had been diving for years. Even he was a Wakulla Award receiver for conducting safe cave dives. He had progressed from open water punter to Trimix and cave within a couple of years. He was very confident and certainly enthusiastic. He had completed 100 cave dives in a couple of years. People who knew him claimed that he was the best diver in the world. He was healthy and rich, and on top of that, he had many friends. On Thursday, August 8, 2013, he was planning to dive at the Devil's Eye Cave diving system, part of the Ginnie Springs in North Florida. The Devil's Eye Cave is one of the most famous and often dived caves in the world. It is located about 10 minutes west of High Springs. This cave has two entrances, Devil's Eye and Devil's Ear. Both join each other quickly in the gallery. The Devil's Eye provides faster and easier access to the cave system. This cave is really large and deep, with a round opening. It is an amazing cave system, but equally dangerous because it is also called the Killer Cave. This cave took 28 lives, which makes it dangerous. Only expert divers are allowed to explore it, as Carlos Fonseca was a dynamic diver. Carlos was all set for his exploration of the Devil's Eye. According to the report, he clipped a cubic tank marked O2 and Mod 20, which means a maximum operating depth of 20 feet. As he was an expert, he was going to lead the diving crew. Whenever they planned a vacation or went for a swim, Carlos was always the one leading his friends. His teammates noticed that Carlos was about to use an oxygen tank for a deeper dive than it was thought to be safe for. They asked him about this. Carlos stated that he filled the tank himself and that he knows that the tank is filled with air. His teammates insisted and kept questioning their concerns regarding the tank. But Carlos insisted that he knew it was filled with air. No one had observed Carlos analyzing the tank that morning. The diving team continued to prepare for the dive and discussed emergency plans to give up the dive if there was no other choice. Carlos proposed not to make any visual jumps during the dive, which refers to crossing a gap between the main guidelines and where a branch line begins. They entered the Devil system through the Devil's Ear entrance and went upstream about 400 feet. They were about a third of the way when Carlos started having a seizure and then lost consciousness. The pressure of oxygen was causing high toxicity. Before moving further in the video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. His teammates decided to bring him to the exit towards the Devil's Ear, going through a gallery with a direct way out. They kept looking at Carlos's face while pulling him out for about 20 minutes and observing if he was breathing. Carlos started breathing at 2 points before possible cardiac arrest. As the group reached the surface, they asked for help from the other divers and cave instructors. Carlos was transported alive to the hospital where he was pronounced dead later on. A cave instructor who took part in the rescue operation later analyzed the tanks. The single-staged bottle was analyzed to contain 98% oxygen. The pressure of the oxygen was about 3.5 at the point of the seizure, causing oxygen toxicity. The back-mounted oxygen tanks were analyzed as having 30% oxygen. No one believed that a tragedy like this can happen to a dynamic diver like Carlos Fonseca. So, what went wrong? It was because they forgot to check the basic precautions while going on a dangerous adventure. Maybe if Carlos wasn't overconfident, his teammates could have examined the tank as they were suspicious about it. then an incident like this wouldn't have happened. So, it is a basic rule to look through your safety precautions no matter what type of expert you are. Be safe and keep your loved ones safe. As you made it this far, please let us know in the comments what do you think of this incident. Please leave a like and subscribe to Catastrophe. Thanks for watching.